Okay, in this video lesson we are going to be talking about finding the midpoint of each of these three sides. Temea tuatahi. First thing we want to do, let's plot the points P, Q, and R. So P is -6, 1. We know this is my X and this is my Y. So 6 to the left, up 1. Always starting at the origin, the point 0, 0. -6, 1 is right there. And since that was point P, let's get in the habit of putting the letter P there. Next point Q, 2, 7. 2 to the right and up 7. There is my point Q. Lastly, my point R, 6, -3. So 6 to the right and down 3. 6 to the right, tahi rua e toru ke runga. Once we've got those points, we will then katahika whakamahia te ruri, and let's join those points with a straight line. No, whakamahia te ruri. Okay, so P, Q, and my R. Now when we want to find these midpoints, we're going to go one pair of points at a time. You want to first, since we've got a P and Q up here, I will first find the midpoint of P to Q. I know that the point P was an X of -6 and a Q was 2. So what's in between -6 and 2? Well, we'll go -6 plus 2 and divide it by 2. I can see that in between there, between the P and the Q, -6 plus 2 is -4. Half of that has to be -2. So that's going to be the X value, -2. -6 plus 2 is -4, divided by 2 is -2. So just like you found the middle of the X values, now we're going to find the middle of the Y values. And from P to Q, so this was the midpoint of PQ. And if you want to label them like that, midpoint PQ. So now we found the X midpoint was -2. Now for the Y's, we've got my X and Y. 1 plus 7 divided by 2. 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So the midpoint of PQ should be -2, 4. Let's see if that looks about right. -2, tahi rua toru 5. Right on the line. So there is the midpoint M. Okay, next one. We've done P to Q. Now let's go Q to R and find the midpoint there. So we're going to say midpoint Q to R. First we'll find the X1 plus X2, Q to R. 2 plus 6. 2 plus 6 and divide by 2. That is 8 divided by 2, which is 4. And for the Y values, again from Q to R, 7 plus -3 over 2. 7 plus -3 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So let's see if 4, 2. Yep, sure does. There's 4, 2. That was the midpoint there. And the last midpoint is from P to R. So midpoint P, R. And let's notice how we're labeling these. Make sure you label clearly. Say which 2 points you're finding the midpoint of. This was the midpoint of P to R. Okay? P to R. -6 plus 6. Divided by 2, that is 0. And now for the Y's. From P to R. 1 plus -3, 1 plus -3 divided by 2. -3 plus 1 is -2 divided by 2 is -1. Let's see if 0, -1 looks like the midpoint. It certainly does. So there are our midpoints. This will be posted up to YouTube if you want to have a look. Thanks for watching. Mauri mahi, mauri ora, ka kite ano.